This episode is brought to you by FitAid, and I really am going to tag on this episode. I'm going to say, FitAid, sponsor us. Why? Because we're two broke dudes just trying to make a way.
Yeah. Maybe Buc-ee's will do it.
Well, no way. FitAid would have sponsored us before Buc-ee's would probably.
Really?
I bet.
Golly, look at the cobwebs here. Dude,
this place is this whole building is a cobweb collecting bowl. Is that the best? Is that the right words? Cobweb collecting bowl. Man, Jake, you know what I started doing that I haven't done in a very long time? Playing video games.
I know. I'm gonna go home and get it.
It's free.
I know. I'm gonna get it.
Halo back in the day was my game. I played Halo a lot. My original first love of first person shooters. For real. Like whenever Halo came out and Xbox came out, I was like, whoa, it blew my mind.
Outside of what? Duke Nukem?
No, I didn't. I played.
What was there that was like that?
Nothing.
No. That's why it's
it was revolutionary. It really was for shooters. So it's free.
I probably need it.
I'm too cheap to like actually pay to play a video game these days.
Well, if they're giving it away for free, why would you?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's free. But it's been fun because I've connected with some guys that I haven't talked to in a long time. Like, hey, I don't get to hang out with... Well, I hang out with Brad here at the gym, right? But my buddy Jason, Mark, Brad Ross... In fact, Fabian, he's playing too.
Really?
Yeah, I just played about 45 minutes with Fabian before he came here. That's what I was doing.
Cool. Anyways,
got into playing a little video games again, which is... I gotta be careful because I can easily like deep dive in and like if I didn't watch myself, I'd stay up and play till like 4:30 a.m. class started.
Oof.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. Not even close. No, I played till 11 last night, and I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, I felt like a zombie.
You're not used to staying up late, though.
I'm not, dude. I can't handle that. I'm too old, I guess. I remember back in the day, dude. Back in the day. But when I was in late teens, early 20s, man, I'd stay up till me and the boys would, all of that group that I was named pretty much, we'd stay up till like 2 a.m., no problem, go to work the next day, and it was like no big deal.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, not possible.
That's how our group was too.
Yeah, you used to do it too?
Yeah.
You had a group of guys that played?
Me and Destiny and everybody.
Oh, that's true.
GTA.
Yeah.
We'd stay up forever.
Wild times, man. It's been fun though. It is. It's like, and it's something that I won't commit to for very long. Probably, like usually, like you've seen me play games. Like usually, I'm good for maybe 6 months, then I taper off. I
think like as the older you get, it's like used to be like 6 months, then it'll be 5, and then 4.
Yeah.
And like you might get on a strain of 5 days, and then it's getting harder to strain them together. I don't know.
I think it is like for me, I realize I've got so many things to do.
Yeah, I think
and
just
playing a video game just doesn't fit in that schedule. But I do enjoy to jump on and play occasionally because it is a fun release, like to get on there and just like turn your mind off from everything else. So it is cool.
I just don't want to be that person that like stops playing forever. I don't think I will.
I remember the days of saying, I can't ever imagine myself not playing video games. I remember those days.
Yeah.
Now look back at it, I'm thinking, man, that was so foolish to think that, you know?
Why?
Oh, it's just because where priorities were at the time. You know, I didn't understand like guys who were older than me, like, I just don't have time. Or they prioritize different things in their lives. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But I mean, I still play. It's just not frequent. Like, I can't remember the last time I was committed to playing a video game on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm. Well, what else?
What was it?
What?
We played some Call of Duty. That was a year ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost
fun too.
Yeah, it was fun. That's what I'm saying. It's like not very often. Anyways, whatever.
Anyways, I'm going to get Halo.
Yeah, do it.
Start playing.
Go download it tonight.
Yeah, I will.
If I can get away with it, I'll play with you till 2 a.m.
See you at 4:30.
Right, yeah. You're already up. Might as well go for it.
Yeah. So, well, we had a good week.
Dude, yeah. How was Thanksgiving?
It was great.
Yeah.
Go hunting. Got to play golf. Did we play golf this week?
Dude, we did play golf.
Yes.
Last week, technically.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Jake.
So long ago.
This guy. It was unreal. I could not believe how well you played.
Oh,
It was awesome.
I think I'm in the same boat as you. Dude, I honestly went in that morning. I was like, I even told Diaz, like, I better play
told
good
me.
because I feel like I'm going to embarrass myself.
You told me that.
I know.
And I expected to play at least not great because I haven't played much lately.
Yeah.
But I played exceptionally bad. Like, since I've been back playing, even the first time I came back for not being regular, like playing regular.
We've played twice together.
Yes.
Okay.
But so since I've come back, which from like almost like probably about a 5-year stint of not playing on at least like a once a month basis or 2 months, basis, I haven't played as bad as I played when we played the other day. It was really bad.
Dude, the pressure was on. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, because you were playing great, and I was playing terrible.
No, that's not even the pressure was. I didn't want to embarrass you,
me, and my father-in-law, and I embarrassed myself. So who cares?
You're like,
that was bad.
He's gonna play, and I'm like, I better bring my A game. So made B team sit down and took A game out there.
I'll just turn myself down. This was the one I was looking for. Mute that.
Oh yeah, I heard it echo. Maybe
that's what it was. I think it was picking up in that other mic over there. Super strange. But yeah, you played awesome, man.
Well, I appreciate it.
You had a great day.
I was not expecting it, but that's a cool course though.
Yeah, Rio's fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Especially the front nine when that's what's funny is I expected to play well in the front nine because it's so open.
Did you play better on the back?
Oh, considerably. Not great.
I don't know what your split was, your scores. But
I did not keep score, remember?
Oh, yeah.
I gave up. Yeah.
Hey, sometimes you just got to have fun because there's days you want to throw something.
I had to.
Your father-in-law got mad too?
Oh, that's not unusual.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing you can get really angry at
golf?
fast.
Oh, yeah.
If you're trying to play good, you can get mad real quick.
Yeah, I've played some of my best golf when I didn't care. You know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah, whatever. Just go out and hit some balls today, and then had a great round of golf. And then days that when it mattered, played the worst because I think it's more pressure.
So you play worse under pressure?
Depends. That's what I'm saying. It's like I'm usually pretty good in clutch situations. Like I always have been. The pressure's on, I perform well. But then other times, I don't know.
I think that's majority of what happened.
I think it's just like up all over the place.
The more that I like try to zero in, like I have notes like in my books, like this club, this is my thought process. This is what the yardage is. This is how I have to swing with my hands. Like I go in detail when I really start hitting the range.
Yep.
But to come out and just be like, I'm just going to
go play.
Well, no, it wasn't like that. It still was pressure. But I was like, I didn't want to think.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, if I think, I'm going to fall apart. So.
Well, you did well. Had a good day.
Thanks.
Golf. Love it, hate it.
Man, we're starting off boring today, huh?
Are we?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we're just catching up on live currently because we haven't talked about this at all.
True.
Anyways, we had a great Thanksgiving, if you're wondering. Thanks for asking.
Thank you for being grateful and thankful.
Yeah.
Which leads us into our discussion.
Leads us into kind of the direction we were talking about earlier.
Could you imagine we just came in here and just off the cuff, we just thought, hey, why don't we talk about being thankful? Sounds like someone that made a decision right off the last.
Like, do we do that kind of thing regularly?
Maybe. You remember that long talk we had like 4 minutes ago about what we were going to talk about today?
Yeah, I remember that.
This is like part of our brand here. We just walk in here and start talking.
Yeah. Pastor Greg was like, maybe you should guys get a plan together next time I come in.
Is that what he said? Yeah. Oh, man. He didn't like it, huh?
Well, like watching it back, like we didn't ask him any questions at all. Me and you talked and he just would be like,
hey, Pastor Greg, I liked his. I'd watch that one again.
He had some good stuff. He did. It was.
I just wish we didn't have to delete the first 40 minutes.
Listen, man, if he would have been cussing so much, we would have left it in there.
See, the mystery 40 minutes, Pastor Greg.
Mystery.
Nobody will ever know.
Mystery 40 minutes.
And we can make it whatever we want it to be.
That's right.
I thought we played pretty good. What about you, Dale? You think we played pretty good?
We're playing great.
Yeah. What about you, Pastor Greg? The hidden 40 minutes. We don't know. Maybe we'll release it one day.
Is there a response?
Oh, man. That's funny.
We did have a good time. I enjoyed talking with him. In fact, the beginning of the podcast was like our funniest stuff we talked about.
I know. Let me put it this way. We've done 3 podcasts since then, right? Or 2. He's been mentioned in both. So it must have been pretty good to us.
Yeah, that's true.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Pastor Greg didn't like
for that 40 minutes. That didn't make it.
I wish everybody knew what we could cut out. like the mystery.
What's really weird is we don't cut a lot out of our.
We don't.
Like actually almost nothing.
But if we did, it must have been pretty bad.
Like everybody's gonna like, oh, there's gonna be some people.
Where's
like,
the missing?
What did he
minutes?
say, or what? Who said what? No, it wasn't nothing like that.
No.
We just got into the meat of our conversation really later into it. Is really what happened,
dude. You know what I liked about that is that it wasn't so structured. Yeah. It seemed like he got to like open up,
relax,
like a guy here. For
he is that guy. He's that type of dude, though. Anyways,
yeah. But it was cool hearing like his old stories.
Yeah, talk about his life and everything. It's cool. Talk about him. I don't know. Did the part about him meeting Pastor Brandy and stuff or Brandon and stuff in college, was that in the podcast, or would you cut that? Can't keep my story straight. Lied too many times now.
I don't remember if that was in there or not.
Yeah, I don't know, but that was pretty good. How he was dating her roommate.
Oh yeah, no, it didn't make it.
Yeah, that was so funny, dude. Yeah. He was like, I can fix this right now.
Yeah, that did not make it.
Did not make it.
That's funny. Yeah, it wasn't.
Oh man, that's good.
It was good stuff.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
we were talking about being thankful,
and
with it being just coming out of Thanksgiving, it's a great time to talk about this, I think.
Yeah.
So we actually did the whole week at the gym. We talked about some bullet points because we have our thought for the day, as some call it the daily thought. I think it's funny, but it's not. It's
what?
Because they call it the daily thought.
Oh, daily thought.
Yeah. Which it is funny.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's clever. But some of the things, man, that we were talking about was, well, I'll bring up number one. Because I had like a full week. I text Rich and Caroline and gave them the full week like every day. I never do that. I normally like send it to them the day of because I don't normally think about a whole week in advance. But I did. I knew we were leading to Thanksgiving. Sorry, I was about to burp. I decided against it. And so sent them out full week for Thanksgiving. It was good. So number one on the list, acknowledging the good is the foundation for all abundance in your life. I'm going to say it one more time.
Yeah.
There's more to it than that, actually.
Twice.
Huh? Yeah. No.
Two-liner.
Acknowledging the good is the foundation for all abundance. Okay? For in your life. There's a little bit more to it. But that is the base of it. What do you take away from that, Jake?
I think you can't be happy until you really start focusing on what it's already been going on great in your life. If you're just constantly looking for what could be better, then you're never going to be happy. You know what I mean? Like if you're focusing on getting more and more and more in life, then you never realize that God's already given you more already.
Yeah.
And so you're looking ahead, but you're never resting in the present, like what's happening in your life.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of goes into another point that we talked about on another day, that this is it right here. Be thankful for what you have. I'll just read the full thing because I wrote down like a cliff notes on it. But
so that I didn't answer it?
No, it is, but it ties in perfectly with the next one. Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough.
Yeah.
That's what we talked about on Tuesday. And I think it's like super important that we do take the time to acknowledge and be thankful for the blessings we do have in our lives. Because if we don't do that, then we will constantly think that we need to get this, we need to gain that. And sometimes it's materialistic things and sometimes it's not. It's status and stuff like that. Whoa, did you hear that? It like rumbled. But if I think like just the base knowledge of knowing that we could currently, where we sit in life, like, okay, especially when it comes to materialistic things, are beyond blessed. And if you like can step back and say, man, I don't need, with the things that I currently have, I have more than I could ever need. You just are so much more thankful and like, dude, I really don't ever need anything.
Yeah.
There's plenty of things that I would want and would have fun to have. And
or you make up a reason to think you need it.
Oh, for sure. Especially as a dude who likes the toys and stuff. You know what I mean? Because I love to do things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love to hunt. I love working out. I love playing golf. And it's real easy for me to go, man, if I just had this or that, it'd make me that much. You know what I mean?
Destiny always tells me that I make things hectic. Like if I'm telling her, like I'll be like, God, man, I could do this, but this isn't working out. And like I'm always making it seem hectic so I can buy something.
That's funny.
I don't ever notice it until she started saying it. I was like, yeah, I really do sound hectic.
You sound
it's
hectic.
Like it's like a hectic situation. If I could just get this, then it would help me. And it's like, I really don't need that.
Yes.
But if not like I'm thinking like, oh, I don't need that, but I'm going to act this way. It's just like, I naturally tell you all the reasons why it's not, the situation's not working because I don't have this object.
Oh, dude, for sure.
Know? So
yeah.
I always sound hectic.
That's really funny. I've never thought of it that way. But I'm the same way. Like, I never ever like whenever I'm endeavor into something, I never want any of the equipment or the things that I own to be a limiting factor. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Always like it to be me. Okay. So like, for instance, like if you're using a tool for whatever you're doing, right? And that tool is not top of the line and has faults because it is not a quality product and it fails on you, right? That irritates me so bad. Drives me crazy. So I always make up the excuse, I'm going to buy the best because I want to be the limiting factor. If it's anybody's fault, it's my fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not the equipment.
That's a great argument there.
It is.
That's why you have a $4,000 pair of golf clubs.
I do not.
No,
I do not. I bought mine actually golf clubs secondhand and I've had them for 12, 13 years.
There's your problem. Your equipment's failing you.
Hey, I almost bought some this year. Decided against it. I really did. I really did.
D has the same mindset though, as far as like buying things.
Yeah.
We don't ever buy. Like I'll try to buy something cheaper and she's like, no, we're going to buy the best. It's not a status thing. It's it's how she was raised too. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to buy 8 of the same thing, trying to reach that one product that could have just done it.
I've done it.
Yeah.
Especially with the hunting equipment. The type of hunting that we've done, like especially when we go to the West and hunt elk, big game. I've bought cheap equipment in an attempt to save money because I'm like, it's the same thing. It's close enough. Mm-hmm. And then you get into a situation where you're like, dude, this is not it. And you realize like those conveniences that tool or whatever it is offers you by being, top of the line, make your comfort level and your hunt experiences so much better.
How do we get on this?
I don't know.
I'm trying to figure that out.
Well, because we were talking about like being thankful for
We're all talking about stuff we want now.
Yeah,
I want this. You want that?
But the point is, see how easy it is for us to go, no, we need more things.
Right. We're sitting here talking about elk hunt and playing golf, and there's some people that don't even have that. Or you see what I'm saying? Like we're like, oh, we're struggling.
Yes.
I shot horrible this week. They're like, wait, you can afford to play golf?
Yeah.
Like,
see how easy it is to be distracted by what? Wants and desires?
Do you ever have that down part in life ever that you were just like in need? You know what I mean? Or have you always
no. Yeah, I've definitely been in.
When I say in need, like I'm sure. I mean, have you ever struggled financially at all? Where you're like, dang, I need
absolutely.
some help?
In my younger days, we borrowed money and from my parents to pay bills and all kinds.
Do you remember that, like that feeling and like just?
It's terrible.
It's horrible.
Yes, absolutely.
Thinking about that, it's like.
But okay, so even in that, so here's the thing: is like, as beat down as I felt, or as like mentally anguishing as it was to be in that situation, I never ever felt like in need. It's so weird. Here's why. I think because I always knew that there was somebody that had my back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though it was like the last thing I wanted to do.
It feels weird.
Oh yeah, it's the last thing you ever want to do.
Helping you pay bills.
Yeah, it's the last thing you ever want to do as a man. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Is.
Hey, I'm out on my own. Hey, mom and dad, I ain't gonna be able to pay my rent this month.
Maybe that's why you're always like, man, I really appreciate what you guys did when I was growing up.
It's true, right?
Because you have this life hit you in the face. But I was just like thinking, like, I remember D and I, we like seems like we were always struggling. And we were on the ride home the other day, and I was like, man, when we were struggling like that, it was painful to like give someone $20, or I remember like us driving home and she'd call me and be like, we had 2 vehicles, but it was like a junker. Both of them were. And it would be like, hey, can you go put money in the bank so I can get gas? Yeah. Or like, I remember these conversations and it was like, it's crazy to think where we came from. And at this time, it was like we were always being moved by the Lord to like give to people. It's like whenever we had nothing, we were like, here, take my $20 bill. And it may have not been like huge. That's not a huge amount of money, but it is when you have nothing and then you're giving to somebody that has nothing, and you learn to like really appreciate when somebody does something like that. Well, I was driving home and it was like, we were looking back and I was like, I wonder if we're living the like shaken, pressed together, overflowing, like we're living the fruit of the seeds that we were planting then. This is years ago, but I'm like, we're more successful today. And is it because of something that we did, or is it because we were being honorable and giving back then? Like, are we living the harvest of those seeds that we planted? And then what does God have for not saying, oh, I need to start planting seed now, but if I did my life like I did then, what else would God do in my life for the next 5 years from now? Will I be looking back and saying, am I reaping? Am I getting the harvest of the seeds I planted then?
Yeah.
Because it was like throughout, and what it was is an aha moment was when we were driving home. I was like, man, we were talking about finance, we were talking about certain things, and I'm like, if you really stop to think, we're so far ahead from where we were, but we're so concerned with like issues right now that we didn't even see that God has been blessing us so much to this point. You know what I mean? Like, but it was because of that time at the gas station that we saw someone, they needed help and we had nothing and we gave to them. And that process over time has gotten in different avenues, but it's like we've also been blessed more over time financially. Yeah. And we're at a place now that's way further ahead than we were then. Because what it was, we were getting gas and I was like, do you remember the times of being afraid to swipe our card? Like we were talking to each other, and it's not like we're super wealthy now, but I'm saying like, it's just recognizing that we were being blessed the whole time, and that we were grateful. Because I remember every time that we came out of the trailer, living in the house, it was just like, God, thank you. We take time to be like, God, thank you for what you're doing, because we remember living in a trailer. We remember not having hot water and having to boil water for our kids to take a bath, not in the boiling water, but heating them up,
In the boiling water.
Y'all better be quiet. We're going to give you a bath. No, like that. And I remember getting dressed when we first moved here to Bezoria. This is like 4 years ago, with flashlights, holding lights up so our kids could get dressed in the trailer because we had no power, we had no hot water. Like this was the dream of having your own business and not having it work yet. Yeah. And it's just like, you were talking about being grateful, and I'm like looking at my life, and I have plenty to be thankful for, even though it's.
Yeah, I think, and what, so I said, I felt like somebody was always had my back, so I knew I could like always rely on my parents and stuff. But I think too, also I realized that as bad as my life I thought it was at the time, it was minuscule. My problems were like, I knew there was always it was the light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? Like, and compared to other people in the world, I'm like, man, money is super tight this month. And yes, it is very painful to have to make a phone call and ask for help with rent or whatever, And, we didn't do that a lot, but it did happen. I remember. And I just remember at that time also thinking like, man, as bad as I feel right now, this is minuscule. It's so tiny compared, to what other people are experiencing in life. I do have a place to still, rest my head at night, and stuff like that. So
it's funny. I remember, I don't know if I've ever told you, but I remember our breaking point was, well, for one, it was raining and we were getting like drops in the trailer because they leak all the time anyways, these RVs and stuff.
Okay. You were in an RV trailer, so you're okay.
I wasn't even like a trailer house. Yeah. No, this is like I'm in a freaking camper. We were roughing it. I mean,
and that sounds funny. You're roughing it in a camper.
I know. It's like
as somebody sleeps under a bridge.
Well, either way, I mean, everybody is just bad. But like I said, the hot water and all that stuff and what's going on, and we're driving back, and we have like $20 in our account. And Dee's driving into Bezoria, and she smokes a tire iron, like in the middle of the road, blows the tire out. comes up through the car
Oh,
floor.
snap.
Like turns on a bunch of engine lights and airbag lights on our car. And
What?
we had just now, the week before that, we had hit a deer in the car and our insurance had lapsed. So we had no insurance on the car and half our car was missing. The front half of our car was missing. And we hit this tire and I've got $20 and I'm just like, I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, we moved here on a prophetic word of God that said, hey, you're going to go there. Don't look back from the move. God's going to establish your company. You're going to be able to go forward. You know, don't look back. Don't look back was pretty much the words that were in my head from the prophetic word. And talking about how God led the people out of Egypt and that once they got out there, they're like, man, it's better. We were better being slaves in Egypt than we are right now.
Yeah. And that's
so
you're feeling that way.
I am. Yeah. I'm like, God, man, I was working 2 jobs there, but at least I was in a house, you know, or I didn't have a lot of money to eat, but you know, we were still a downward spiral over there, but at least we weren't dealing with this. And so we called Donna. She comes and helps us get the tire fixed. $20 I didn't have to fix the tire at Walmart. Go back home, and I'm just feeling like we are feeling defeated because we do everything together. Yeah. There was no blaming, like this is your fault because you won't get a job at the plant. This is your job because this is your problem because you won't get a job. You know, there was none of that. It was like we were in this together, and we're just breaking. Like I remember that night laying down with D on the couch, which would be the table of the camper. We gave the kids the queen size bed so they could sleep in there. Yeah. D and I are sleeping on the little fold out table that you take apart and put the cushions down. Yeah. And a futon, I think, were in there. God, I sound so weird saying that stuff, but it's like this is what we were dealing with. Yeah. And we're literally holding each other and we're crying.
Yeah, dude.
You know, because we're just like broke and broken in all different ways. Broken financially, but broken in all different ways. And we're holding each other and the Lord, he said, like he just came to me all of a sudden and he was like, when they were crossing the Red Sea, he's like, they had their backs against the water. He hadn't split the water yet. And they were seeing basically their death running at them. And he's like, I am going to split the waters for you guys. That's what he said. It's like plain and simple. And I told D, I was like, this is what I feel like the Lord just said to me. I felt like an uplift in our spirits. We both got really happy. He's like, I heard him so clearly that he said, you know, they couldn't go right down the bank. They couldn't go left down the bank. They were right where they needed to be. Mm-hmm. They were just waiting on God to do his miracle. Yeah. And so we started proclaiming that God was going to split the Red Sea for us. And we were going to walk through to our promised land or whatever God's word was for our life at that time. So we're sitting there the next day and we're watching this movie. I think it's God's Not Dead, maybe. Yeah, we're watching it in the office.
There's like 3 of them, I think.
Yeah, I don't know which one it was, but
2 or 3 of them.
Is that the one where the guy, he's trying to prove that God... No. There's one that the guy's trying to prove that God doesn't exist. What is that one?
I don't know, but God's Not Dead.
That's not it. Yeah. That's not it. Anyways, the guy's trying to prove that God doesn't exist. And in the process of it...
He finds God.
And says that he believes, okay? We're at this...
That may be it, yeah. Because it's like he's like a professor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it is that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he gets to this moment in the movie, and he's like, it's like everything's clicking together, and he's like, I believe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, D and I, we're emotional anyways, but we're watching this, and when he starts saying this, I look at D and I was like, I believe, like, you know, I believe he's real, like God, he's there. And we looked at each other, we started crying, and I heard a ding on my phone. And when I hear this certain noise on my phone, I know what it is. It's a payment. Yeah. We got like $1,000 payment right there. And then it was like, it dinged again. And in the next 2 days, God gave us over like $8,000.
Let's go.
Right? But I was just like,
boom.
Oh my goodness. Like that's within 3 days, like that process over 3 days, hearing the ding multiple times over the next 3 days after having that encounter that night, that break, that crying. Yeah. Like God, that's these encounters that I'm talking about, that God reassures you, letting you know, hey, I'm real, I'm here, and I'm here to help you out in your life. Yeah. And that's like, I don't know. I'm just grateful that I'm where I'm at today.
Yeah.
You know, we were at the mall today, and we just spent that money for Sayla's birthday, and we were talking about being grateful. And I was like, we had to replace these phones last night. And I'm just like, you see the money just like, and we buy these cases. This case and this screen cover is like $160. Like that's how much it costs to protect the phone. And I'm just like, God, we're hemorrhaging money. As soon as I swipe that card, bing, I hear it. And I'm like, I go, look, we got a payment. You know, it's like we would go on trips between now and then. We would go on trips with our family, and it'd be hurtful to sacrifice, take your family somewhere. But we were living in a trailer, so it was like, God, I want to let them have a life. Yeah. I don't want them to see what we're living through. So we would take them like Slitterbond and go do something fun.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, God, it's
sweating
like,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would put my phone in the locker. We'd go play around. And I'd be talking about how grateful I was to be on this trip with my family that I didn't have a wedding. We'd go back and I'd have 2 payments there. Yeah. It's like God was always ahead of me. He was always preparing me to live comfortably, live in the life that God wanted me to be in, and be a good father and not feel like a failure. And he was always taking care of me.
You're sounding like prosperity gospel right now. I'm just kidding.
I'm just like saying, you know,
it's true. God will take care of you for sure. But you have to... It's okay. He can take care of you in any situation, but if you're not acknowledging him, it's the blessings don't just flow.
What do you mean?
What I mean is like if you're not living in a way that represents God.
No, actually, I think you get wealthier faster.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean that's not a prosperity gospel thing. It's really not. It's just truth. That if you are living a life that is pleasing to God, man, he is going to take care of his children. That doesn't mean you're going to be wealthy by any means. It never says that in the Bible.
No.
Okay? It never says that. But he does bless his children.
Do I think you can be wealthy?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that there's a process to becoming wealthy the right way. Yeah. And God teaches you that standard. If to give, you don't give to receive, but if you give, you get more back.
Yeah.
Like that's God's formula in his economy. It's weird. The more and it doesn't have to be financially, I don't think all the time. You give your life or your time in certain spots, but
do you find it weird that like some people have such an easy time giving and some have others it's hard for them to give? Because I see it all the time.
No, it's true.
But what do you think that is?
But just think people struggle in different areas.
Oh, it's just because, yeah.
I mean, because there's people that can give till they're blue in the face, but maybe they do things behind the scenes that aren't right. You know what I mean? Like everybody has their area.
No, yeah.
But giving is, there's some people that struggle with giving. Look at the guy that, Jesus said, give everything away. And he's like, I can't.
Yeah.
But he did everything perfect up until that point. Yeah.
And what did he say to him though after that? You remember what he said to him?
Remember what?
No, what did Jesus say to him after?
He said, give everything away and follow me.
Yeah, and he can't do it.
And he walked away disheartened.
Yeah.
The guy was sad.
Yeah, it's because so it's crazy that Jesus said, he lived and done all these things in his life to be good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, and then Jesus said, good is not enough. Get rid of it all because the possessions in his life were more important than anything to him.
Yeah, because he had worked for it.
Because he had worked for it. But he'd been a great person. He's been a good person. Mm-hmm. And Jesus said, that's not what I want. He said, I want your heart. And your heart is your possessions.
Yeah.
Right? And he said, sell them all. And then so the guy was like, sorry, I can't do it. And he walked away and he's like, I'm sad because he couldn't do it.
And I wonder if that guy made heaven. I don't know.
I don't know either. It's an interesting thing.
I mean, ultimately, what is God asking us for? He's asking us for our heart.
Yeah, he's asking for
that relationship with him. Yeah. And at that moment, did that guy receive or reject his relationship with God?
He rejected
it.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't
about the possessions.
God.
It wasn't about the possessions, though. It really wasn't.
No, it was that he couldn't give it up.
That's right.
Yeah. That's sad because there is good people that don't have the relationship.
Yeah. Man, I think just being thankful in general for everything in life, everything that we receive as a gift, or the things that you work for. This makes me laugh so hard. Like I think about this and like even the things that we work hard for, right? And we feel like we've accomplished something. God gave us the desire to work for those things.
Or the ability.
The ability to do those things. You know what I mean? Oh, dude, it's so humbling. And this is painful to admit. I've been sitting in the drum cage thinking, dude, you slayed that. And immediately get
reprimanded.
Slapped across the face. Like, boom, what is wrong with Dale? That was ridiculous. What are you talking about? God gave you the desire to play drums in the first place. He gave you the desire to practice to be even.
That's the Holy Spirit.
Dude.
Discipline.
Automatically systematic. As soon as I like get a little bit of pride rise up, he's like, what was that?
Oh.
It's happened to me in the drum cage on Sunday morning in the middle of service.
Yeah.
And God's like, whoa, better check that attitude, son.
Yeah. Get behind me, Satan. That's how he fell. He was a worship leader too. He's
I'm just a drummer, not the worship leader. There's a big difference.
You had a solo this morning. I saw you like, he was getting after it. I saw you at church.
Oh,
I was like, they gave him a solo. Like they're all singing, but Dale's still playing. I was like,
it was not really. I mean, it's a solo, but it's not really.
It was. It was a cool beat too. I was like, hey, D, that's my friend in there. It's funny though that you said that because I was thinking that this morning. When you're disciplining your child, there's a lot of voices going on, and a lot of time you're being disciplined at the same time. Has that happened to you?
Sure.
Is that normal? Like,
Absolutely.
I mean, like, you need to be grateful, and it's like, are you talking through me or at me?
Yeah.
Which one's happening?
Man, being thankful is easy to overlook. It really is on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Because we're just going and we're doing life and we're doing all these things that we're just like, got up in the morning and we went to the gym and then we sat at the computer, we did some work and we answered some emails and we Facebooked our friends and talked to our wife and high-fived our kids. Great job with day at school. Go to bed.
Yeah.
Had dinner. Didn't even think about it. You know what I mean? And the day is over. Did we give thanks to God? Man, it's so easy to overlook those little bitty things that we take for granted every single day. Another cool quote we had was, if you wake up, it said, be thankful for the food and the joys you have in life. For everything you have in life, right? If you can't find a reason to be thankful, the problem lies in you.
Yeah.
Because, man, every single day when your eyes pop open, that alone is something to be thankful for. Mm. You have another day to do something with your life, to give back, to be, lack of better words, a good person. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's so easy for us to.
It's funny how we turn something that's like.
Yeah. Not bad into something bad.
That's bad. Like being a good person, that's cute.
That's cute. Good job. Good job, buddy. You're good.
You're good, but not the best. Oh man.
It's funny though.
It's funny, yeah. And it's like this morning, like after getting after the kids before church, which is always a fun way to get to church. It's when you got to sit there and discipline your children.
Before you go to church.
Yeah, I just got in the room. I was like hanging up some clothes, and Dee's like, "You need to smile." Like she like turned our song on one time, or this morning was like, "You need to sing with me," and I'm like, "I don't want to sing." You know,
you're in that funk then.
I was in a funk.
Yeah.
And then it was like, of course, I started singing with her, and then I went to hug her, and I hugged her, and the first thought came in my head was like, don't let times like this, like I know it's that stupid song, like "You're Gonna Miss This" or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know who sings it. Alan Jackson, maybe.
Dude, if it's Alan Jackson,
it's country. Yeah, you don't.
I assure you, I didn't know it.
Anyways, it was like, you let such a bad thing, a bad morning, a bad mood, ruin your day. But then your wife's just sitting here wanting to hug you and smile with you. It's like, don't take for granted that. Mm-hmm. That could be gone one day. Yeah. And what are you going to do then? Was it really worth it to sit here and
Stop. You're making me feel guilty right now.
I'm just saying, like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to feel, to be in that mood over something so stupid and then not appreciate that you have a healthy wife.
I think the cure to being, for taking life and things for granted, because I mean, I do it too, don't get me wrong, but I think the cure is honestly what you do first thing in the morning. I really do.
What did Dee say?
What did Dee say?
That one day that she learned that you have to, as first thing you do is you sit up in bed.
Oh yeah.
Put your hands in the air and you scream.
Woo!
Like as if you won a goal or a goal or something like that.
Yeah. Maybe. Did it work?
She did it one day. Ever since then, she's had horrible days.
That's hilarious. No, I think it's like what the gratitude you give first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
is the tone set for the rest of the day.
You know what? It's not a really good show, but Yellowstone.
Mm-hmm.
There's a kid in there he got brought into the ranch or whatever, and they're telling him, Rip is one of the guys that works there, but he was also kind of an orphan that they took in. He said the key to being here is believing that you don't deserve it.
Oh,
which I thought was kind of cool, without going too far to where you become like this victim person.
Yeah,
actually using that and being like, I didn't deserve this.
Yeah, I'm working to. It's like so like you don't deserve it, so you work harder because you don't. Yeah,
or you don't get in this place of like you're better.
Oh yeah, you're better than
because you didn't deserve this opportunity.
Well,
and I think that
it's no different with Christ.
That's
man.
what I'm saying. I'm turning that corner right now.
Okay.
It's like the things that we've been given, the things that this world, like they always say, like once you die, it all stays here. He created all this. He created the financial. He owns a cattle on 1,000 hills. He owns it all, and he's entrusted you with it.
Yeah.
And one of the girls here at the gym got Destiny watching this one guy, Transformation Church. You ever seen that?
I know the church, but I'm trying to think of who it is though.
I don't know his name. I've just seen a couple of episodes, but it's he's going through tithe and offering and really laying it out to where like I don't know. I don't even know like the gist of it. I've just seen like the first part of it. But it's like, I just think that we need to realize that everything that we have is because of what God gave to us. Yep. And when we're holding back, when we're not giving, it's not that we're just like, it's not that God needs your money. That's not even what it's about. He's training you, teaching your heart like how to give, like, and to be a giver like he is. That's another thing. It's just like forming and disciplining you. And God does not need your money. He doesn't need anything like that.
No, he doesn't at all.
But he's training your heart.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what we said last week, as far as the kingdom of God and who he wants in it and how he wants their personalities to be. It's to be like him. And he's just training us how to be like him.
Yeah.
But being grateful is a huge thing because Jesus had the ability to create food and all that stuff like through miracles.
It's not fair.
But he was grateful.
Yeah.
He took time every time to tell God, direct towards God.
Yeah.
Thank you. Be grateful for this. Be grateful for, your food.
How wild is that?
It's cool.
How wild is it that the Son of God himself, if you believe in the Trinity, some people don't, but anyways.
Well, it is a Trinity, but it is separate as well.
Yeah, so, some people get caught up on it, but anyways.
Dude, that's some deep stuff there.
I know.
What you're throwing around
Not today, not today.
What?
Some other time.
Who do you pray to?
Huh?
Who do you pray to?
The Father.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's how Jesus prayed, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people pray to Jesus.
I know.
And it's a little weird there.
Yeah. Anyways, Jake, moving on.
Come on, dude.
Moving on. We'll talk about it another day, maybe.
That's some good stuff there.
It is good stuff. Now you've made me lose my train of thought because you just...
I did it on purpose. Now you have to talk about what I want to talk about.
Oh, no.
Just kidding. No. Go ahead.
I don't remember.
Oh, man. I don't feel bad about it, though.
You don't feel bad because it was a good point?
No. We were talking about being grateful. And
it's so wild to me that Jesus, while he's here on earth, prays to the Father and is grateful.
Yeah.
He is God. This like to me is like one of those things that it's like hard to wrap my mind around. Like God here on earth is thankful for all the things that he has on earth, even though he has it all.
Yeah.
At any second, Jake, he's like, there it is. Mm-hmm. But he's thankful. That's still like it's like so like crazy to me. How the person who literally owns it all can just still being thankful to the Heavenly Father.
Yeah.
So wild.
He gave him the authority over the earth.
Everything.
And he gave him the authority to judge.
Yeah.
He gave his son everything.
Everything. Yeah, pretty wild to me.
But he's separate.
Yes, he is.
And he's in one.
He's in one.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Anyways, man.
Can we just hurry up and get to heaven?
No, I like earth to a degree. I really do. I think this is our opportunity, a great opportunity for us to... for God to use us to do something, If we just go to heaven, it's over.
It's
God.
Not Dell.
No, what I'm saying here on earth, like with us. Oh no, don't go down that road. But you know what I'm saying? For us to, in this time,
I don't like the vibe I'm getting. It's almost like this. I don't want to get you talking vibe.
No. I'm just saying, let's not get too far distracted off of being thankful. right? I don't want to go too far off there.
Are you thankful for Dr. Phil? Because right now it sounds like you're not.
Oh, no. Now you made me lose my train of thought again. Thank you, Jay. Stop it.
You deserve it.
Stop it. I'm done. You want to talk some more? Go ahead.
No, I'm just messing. There was something that was happening this morning, but I can't remember what it was.
No,
church.
Fine. At church?
Yeah, it was a church thing.
Oh, no.
Oh, got your attention.
Was it good or was it bad?
That was just something. I'm trying to think what it was. Anyways, what else you got?
About being thankful?
Yeah, what didn't you have another little thing over there?
Maybe. You want to talk about it?
I don't know. What is it?
What does it say?
I don't know. I can't read your handwriting.
I know. I did that on purpose.
Yeah. It's like writing scribe over
I wrote down, this is another topic we talked about on Friday, and I love this one. It says, when eating fruit, remember the one who planted the tree. It's very simple.
Kind of hit that, but yeah.
Yeah. Did we?
Well, I mean, you just did it with Jesus. God,
Yeah, maybe so.
Right? Kind of? Not really. Okay,
No, I don't know. When eating the fruit, remember the one who planted the tree.
Yeah.
And I think I equate that to be thankful the ones who came before us and paved a way. You know what I mean? I feel like today, even though I'm not doing what my father did at this very moment, I feel like the things that were planted in my life, I'm bearing fruit of. So I'm incredibly thankful for a grandfather, a father who instilled in me like to work hard for the things that I wanted, to put God first, to honor him, honor your wife, honor your family, these things, and treat people with respect and love everyone. And all these things that like, I feel like have just like trickled down. I feel like I'm living in the fruits of those things. And you did talk about that with how, at the very beginning, whenever you felt like you had nothing and you're living in the rewards of that. But this comes down to being thankful for, I think, the people that came before us. Man, I'm incredibly grateful for my dad, my grandfather, especially when I first started without a doubt, when I first started into building houses, man, it was like, yes, I started a company on my own, like in my own name. But it was like the foundation was already laid.
Yeah.
It was literally like a phone call and had the expert advice of people who had been doing it for combined 70 plus years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In knowledge at my fingertips. So it was like, dude, when I look back at the early stages of me building houses, it was incredible for me to have that resource literally at the tip of my fingers. And man, was it hard still? Did I still struggle? Yeah. Absolutely. But I knew always, again, someone had my back.
Yeah.
It was just a phone call. Hey, Dad, let's take a look at this. I really don't understand how to make this work. This framing here, right here, is not working out. I'm not liking the way this is turning out, whatever it is. And it's just a phone call. And then he shows up on the job site and he talks to me and says, hey, this is how you should do this, or let's get the framer over here. We need to fix this or whatever. I had that resource in my back pocket at all times. Yeah. It made it possible for me to do some things that on my own, I never could have done, So it's pretty awesome, man, to look back at those times and like remember that even the things that I feel like I accomplished on my own, I really didn't. You know what I mean? Because I did. I started my own business, but all the foundation was there. It was already laid. So just put my name on it. Yeah. Just rebranded it.
I was going to ask you. So what trees have you picked from and what trees are you planting? Maybe that's what something along that line.
Yeah, that's cool.
Kind of hard to ask.
I think that what trees have I picked from? Obviously, I feel like I've picked some trees of like understanding that, some of the rewards of like working hard. And like laying that foundation of working hard you're going to reward from it. My dad worked harder than my grandpa's father worked harder than anybody I've ever met. Yeah. Or that I know, there's lots of people out there that work hard. Don't get me wrong, but they were immediate in my life. So I saw it on a daily basis. They worked incredibly hard. And it doesn't mean like it was always physical labor. Yeah. They were just dedicated. When they did something, they did it and they did it till the job was done, So, like learning some of those traits or picking up some of those things from them, I feel like I'm reaping some of those rewards or that harvest from that. things that like I feel like are that I'm planting. Man, I want my kids to obviously reap some rewards that things we're planting now. And it could be something simple. Like I hope that, my kids learn a life of health for sure.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Hope my kids learn that we're planting the seed of like, put God first in all you do. I hope my kids are learning by looking at my life what to look like, especially my girls, what to look for in a man. Ooh, that was tough.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping I'm teaching my son. I told you that, like, I hope I'm teaching my son, he's too young now but how to take care of a family. Yeah. I told you the pressure that I felt. Did I tell you that story about the pressure that I felt whenever I found out I was having a boy? Whew, dude, it broke me.
Yeah.
It was like a weight set down on my shoulders. It was crazy. And I think it's maybe because I already had girls. If he would come first, maybe it would have felt different.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I think I would have felt different.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like having girls first, that responsibility, and it's awesome. Like the girls are great. And I love them to death. Camry and Bradley are incredible, two incredible little girls. They really are. But then whenever we had, found out we're having Hayes, dude, like this heaviness sat on top of me to raise a young man, to raise a family, to be a leader of a household. Woo, that one sat on me pretty deep. So I'm hoping that I'm planting some things in my kids' life that will set them up for the future.
Yeah.
And on one hand, do I want them to financially benefit from what me and Nikki, can build? Yes. But I both know that like, that's like this much importance. I would love for their lives to be easy because of the things that we do now.
Yeah.
That's great. Really is. And I hope that, maybe whenever this place, the gym, maybe one day like sells, or maybe one of my kids step up and they want to come alongside me and work with me. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds there. Maybe we continue to build homes and my kids step up and they want to go that route. Maybe they want to go out on their own. I don't know. I have no idea. So it really doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
At the end of the day for that stuff. I hope that there's some fruits planted that I can bless them in the future.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With that. But ultimately, if I don't plant the things in them to love Christ first and put him above everything else, then I've failed on everything else.
Yeah. And
that's hard, man. It really is. But I think that I don't want to say I'm doing a good job because sometimes I don't feel like I am.
Probably did a good job.
But I hope that I'm, at least they know that I'm trying. I mean, that's why we do the Bible studies at night. That's why we pray before meals. I mean, that's, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I hope they really, really know that I'm trying to lead them to know Christ. You know what I mean?
I think you did a good job.
Jake, you don't live in my house. If you lived in my house, you'd be like, oh, Dale, you're failing.
Your mindset's right. Your mindset's already set up for success.
I think so. I hope so. That's my prayer. It's my wish,
Like I said, it's something you're going to look back 5 years from now and be like, oh, this is the tree.
Yeah.
I can see it now.
Yeah, it's funny, like thinking about those kinds of things. You know what I mean? Even like looking back at like at my dad and his life, and like the decision for me to start this, the gym here, was not until after he passed. And I think, I don't think I know. I had this realization that, my dad was not that old. I had this realization that life is way too short to not do something you're passionate about. I don't know if and I never thought about this though, like whenever the way I do now, from like when he transitioned from building houses to going full-time into the ministry. Like he was always a youth pastor. He always taught kids, whatever, like forever. He was always involved. But when he decided to stop building houses, like God was like, nope, it's time. Yeah. He's like, shut it down. Sold his half of the business, got rid of his half of the business, my grandfather and my uncle. Took over full-time, and my dad went full-time to the church. Yeah. And now that I think back to it, I know that's what his thought process was. Life is too short not to do what you're called to do, or what something you're passionate about. And he loved he loved to pastor people, to be a minister. That's what he felt his calling was his whole life. And I'm not saying he ran from it to build houses, but I think like he was maybe the right words were he was already doing it in a way, but it just wasn't his monetarily, it wasn't his full-time job. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But he was already doing it. I mean, my goodness. He was like, there wasn't a day that went by that it didn't seem like he was ministering to somebody, or we were doing something with, they called it CAs back in youth, basically. So it was always ministry, always was, you know?
Yeah.
So
just stepping stones to where God was trying to get.
I think so. Yeah.
I really don't think you can make a right or like I think you can make a right or wrong decision, but I don't think the outcomes, I think that they all lead to the same where God is trying to get you at.
Yeah.
He already knew what decision you're going to make. So his plan is already designed for you.
Yeah.
You're like,
No. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's hard sometimes because like
almost predestined.
We have to get Colby back on here. Talk to some more about that.
I know.
Being reformed.
But if you think about it, it's just like your footsteps are ordered of the Lord. Like he's got you. He's putting you where he wants you.
Yeah.
And all the things that the enemy does, he takes those and he makes those for good. Like he already knew all this stuff was going to happen. So he's directing you to where, and you're living this out.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah, predestined
though.
Yeah.
Do you believe that?
I do.
I do too.
I do. I mean, it's hard to believe that sometimes.
I know what I was thinking about this morning at church.
Really?
Yeah. I was looking up there and I was thinking, like, as I was singing, I was like, we're expected to fall in love with somebody that we've never seen.
With our own eyes.
Yeah.
You've only read books about him.
And to not just be like, love him, be like completely in love with him before you've even seen what he looks like. That's cool. That's crazy.
Is it cool? It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. You ever thought about that? You ever thought like...
it's weird that we don't know what he looks like.
From the outside looking in, have you ever like thought like somebody who is not like a follower of Christ, how they must view us?
Oh, yeah.
It's so funny to me. Like, I had this conversation with the brother-in-law one time, and you know, we both grew up in some ways, very similar lives. Not entirely, but in some ways, right? And the only thing that I could like equate to is like we at one point like we separated, right? We climbed two different mountains, and that's the only like he's the non-believer now, right? And he's like, dude, I did all the things you did. I said, but did you have the experiences I had? You know what I mean? Like, and that's what's so hard. I'm like, God, why did you not reach him the way you reached me? What was it that, you know, like led him to believe the way he does? Because man, he read the Bible. He prayed. He did it all. I mean, I sat across from him in Bible studies and like listened to him teach things from the Word. You know what I mean? But I'm like, what was it that brought him to a realization or a point where he was like, God's not real? You know what I mean? What was it? I'm like, he never had a real encounter. Because if you have a real encounter with God, you never could go back from that moment and say he's not real. You know what I mean? Like, how could you ever have an encounter with God, a true encounter with God, and then go back and say, no, he doesn't exist? I don't think you can.
It's usually, I think, it comes down to a hurt and God didn't perform the way they wanted him to at the time that they needed him to.
You think that's what it was?
Yes. And to say that something is not real and hate it is...
No, I don't think he hates God.
I'm saying for the majority.
Okay.
Usually they're very angry.
Oh, yeah.
They're very like hateful towards God because it's like, that means that you were hurt somehow. And you're mad at something that you're saying doesn't exist, but you're mad at it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That means it does exist because you're saying you're mad at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it comes down to a hurt. I don't even know. I think it's sad.
It's super weird because he's an analytical.
Yeah. Most atheists are.
Yeah. They're very intelligent.
They want proof.
That's what it is.
You can't.
And I'm like, that's what I'm saying.
I say you can't, but there's plenty of proof.
The proof is it has, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think like there has to be some kind of encounter where it's undeniable that to you, it makes no sense to anybody else. That's what I like the point I was getting to earlier. Like for some people looking at you and I, And then they're like, dude, these guys are weird. But it's just because they've never had an encounter. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter what they think, unfortunately, at all.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. Because I'm like, to me, it's real. I had a real encounter, and I will never, ever not think or believe it's not real because of that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't feel like it's fair that like we at some point went these different paths. Does that like, why did he not experience the things I experienced? And it makes me sad that he didn't, you know what I mean? And now we're like totally on these opposite ends.
But you got to keep in mind, like, he's not gone yet. You know what I mean? Like, God still has time to reach him. And it with him saying like he's the author of our faith, then like he obviously had a personal relationship with God in the beginning. You know what I mean? You said he was reading.
Yeah.
He
definitely was. He was like in the church. He was in the youth group. I mean, Bible studies. The dude was in the scripture and everything. Like always in the word.
I just feel like God's better than that. Like he'll bring him around towards the end. You speak faith into it. Like, yeah, it's hard. I don't know him.
Yeah.
I don't know who he is or how strongly he stands in it. But I know that how many times have I been broken by God and been like, I need you. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's sad. It's going to come to that point where it's broken. And you don't know what that form comes in, you know. I mean, for some people, it's like we talked about it last time. It could be a near-death experience. It could be something that like is super dramatic, or you can just realize, hey, I need to go this direction or whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess we just pray for him.
I think you did say it best, though, literally. Like, in my mind, I've given up hope.
Yeah.
You know, and then you simply say, literally, that's what you said. He's like, he's not dead yet. I'm like, sorry, I'm about to cry, dude. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Because I want people to know Christ. I really do. And if he's not dead, there's still hope that he can receive Christ. Mm-hmm. And like me as a person, I'm like, dude, I don't see hope like in this guy ever knowing who he is. But God's like, man, his story's not over yet.
Yeah.
So it's pretty.
God's plan for him is not over.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like in this situation, you know, like that's probably like a brother, I would imagine, growing up. Right?
Yeah. We were pretty tight.
You know, and then you've got the love of God in your life, and what you're feeling right now is what Jesus feels.
Yeah.
Looking at him, he's like, I want this relationship, and it breaks his heart.
Yeah.
You know, because he was adamant about reading his word. He was trying to build a relationship with God, and then somewhere in there, either the enemy or
it has to be
just
the enemy,
wisdom or something outran him.
Yeah.
And strayed him off.
Yeah.
But it's not over.
You're right.
And we have to like give that one to God and be like, I'm great. Like turn your thoughts. Like I think of like old time grandparents, you know, like praying grandparents. They're probably like, I see you doing your stuff, but they adamantly know that God's going to come through in your life.
Yeah.
I think that's how today's a changing day for you. You stop looking at it as like hopeless and hopeful.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, start looking at it and being like, start celebrating it, you know, change the outlook and start rejoicing.
No,
God
it gives me hope to pray for him again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like it's a turning point today.
Yeah.
You know, so let's be thankful.
Yeah. Tying it in.
Yeah. It's something to be
I'm thankful for the encounter that God has had in my life, but I'm thankful that there's still time for those who do not believe. There's still time. And I'm hoping that maybe today's the day that you go, man, God spoke to me and, you know, changed my life. You know, I had an encounter with him and I believe, you know. But if not, it could be tomorrow. I'm not saying we have tomorrow. We don't know. But if you're not dead, you're still breathing. There's still time for God to change your life. You know what I mean?
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
We need as many chances as we can get.
Man, because, dude, we need to, if we didn't have grace, we would be done, you know?
Yeah.
So be thankful, like, you know, Christ came to this earth, and
I'm thankful God, like, he has the ability to keep him alive.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's so crazy, like that. And that's the thing with Paul, you know, he was a man who knew the word.
See? And you said that's like his foundation.
Yeah.
What if he is like, God's going to use him later in his life, but he's like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
We don't know what God
we don't
has
know what God holds in store for any of us, really, at the end of the day.
And don't let
tomorrow God could be like, Jake, you're done with photography and videography, and you're going to be at the church tomorrow.
Running the video photography team
for way less money.
He's like, you just thought you were thankful for that job. Wait, what I'm going to do. Cool.
At the end of the day, I think we wrap this up with tell God you're thankful for him. Yeah. Like, acknowledge the things in your life that he's blessed you in. Mm-hmm. Because the truth is, every single thing that we have in our lives, it's a blessing from God. Yep. There's not a single thing that we've done, not a single thing, right, that we can take credit for on our own. I'm sorry. The job you have, I'd love to say that, like, you did all the hard work and you did that. Now God gave you that. Mm-hmm. God gave you every desire to be good at something, gave me every desire to be good at something. And those things propelled us into something that, brought money or whatever it is, right? So there's nothing in our lives that we can have gratitude towards ourselves, and it all goes back to God.
Yeah.
Boom. That's awesome, Jake. What do you think?
Good to go?
I think we wrap it up.
All right. Sounds good. All right.